welcome back to Lab 10A, Boyle's lab. I went through the checkup and the introduction with you, the pre-lab, and now what I'm going to show you is how I am doing the procedure so that you can see this. Now, you have your apparatus that you picked up from school. I have mine here, torn apart. So it says to prepare the Boyle's Law apparatus as described either in the product instructions or in the instructions for constructing your own. I included the instructions on the last page so that you could see that. It says lubricate the rubber piston on the syringe uniformly with a small amount of oil. This will reduce the friction as each force is applied. So in this little cup I have some oil and I'm just going to dip my finger in that and rub it around the outside of the bottom of this black rubber part, and I have a paper towel to wipe off my hand, and then I'm going to put that back in the syringe, and that is a lot easier to push, so that has reduced some of the friction. The next step, oh, I shouldn't have replaced that. The next step is to measure the internal diameter of the syringe barrel in centimeters and convert this to inches. Then calculate the radius of the syringe in inches. I'm just going to measure right now. I will show you the calculations later for this. But to measure, oh, sorry, the sun, this is obviously not a studio. This is my sunroom slash office slash video studio right now. So I'm going to measure across the diameter here in centimeters across the largest part of this, and it looks like I have 3 centimeters, so just the inside across there. So I'm going to write that down, and I'm going to write to the hundredths place 3.0, and I'm going to add a 0 because that is our estimated place. So you should write that down to the hundredths. Yours, if you get a little bit different, that's okay. You might get like 2.95, that's okay. So I wrote that down on the front of my lab here. Whoops, oh yeah, right there. And I'm going to go on to the next part. So the next part, I'm skipping 3. I'll do that calculation with you later. 4 says trap 45 milliliters of air in the syringe. So I'm going to put this back on and I'm going to pull it to the 45. Now, the way I am doing this, I am going to read it from the bottom of the plunger. So I have the very bottom edge right here. Not the tip bottom, but the bottom that touches the wall. That's how I am going to do it. Make sure you're consistent. So I've trapped 45 milliliters of air in the syringe by pulling back the plunger until the base of the plunger aligns with the 45 milliliter mark on the barrel of the syringe. Seal the end of the syringe by placing the cap on the tip. The cap is right in this wood, so you just put that down there, okay? Put that in that cap, and that will be fine. If there's no cap, seal the syringe with a tight-fitting nail or some flexible putty-like adhesive such as Plasti-Tack. We don't have to worry about that because we have the tip. Okay, so 5, place the syringe into the support stand and place the empty milk jug onto the platform. You also have to put this on the top. So I'm carefully putting my platform on the top because this is what the milk jug will sit on. Or vinegar jug in my case, doesn't matter, it's a gallon, okay? Could be a water jug, doesn't matter. So I have that all on there. Now realize as this gets heavier, it might get a little tipsy. You might need some help with this so that it doesn't all fall over. Okay. With nothing in the jug, pull up and release the syringe plunger 2 to 3 times. Record this value as your high value. So what it's saying is go like this. Pull up 2 or 3 times and let go. And these increments on this are by ones. So mine is at about, between 46 and 47. So I am going to record that as 46.5. So where I do that is on the data table. My high value for my empty jug is 46.5 milliliters. So just to show you that right there. Okay, now I'm going to press down on that plunger 2 or 3 times and record this as my low value. So I'm going to hold this so it doesn't fall over and go like this. And actually that went pretty low. I have a value of 40.5. And I'm going to average those values later, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to continue collecting my data. So the next step, just let me double check, is I have 500 milliliters of water in my measuring cup. This is a 2-cup measuring cup, and it will hold 500 milliliters. And I'm going to put that in my milk jug, or in my vinegar jug, whatever you have. So I'm going to pour that in there. Cap it in case it falls so I don't make a mess. And put that on there, and it's a little wobbly. If you need some help, get some help. And I'm going to do the same procedure of pulling up and pushing down for my high and low value. So with this on, I'm going to 1, 2, oh, be careful that you don't pull that syringe out like I kind of just did. So my high value is 41.0 milliliters. Now I'm going to push down, and I get 34.0 milliliters. So I wrote those values in my data table. You can see it there. Okay? And you are going to continue adding 500 milliliters of water until you have added 3,500 milliliters of water. And just keep doing this procedure of pulling up on the plunger 2 or 3 times, recording your value on the syringe, pushing down on it 2 or 3 times, recording your value on the syringe. And I'm not going to take any more values because I want you to collect your own data, not just copy my data. So go ahead and collect your data, and I will be back to show you how to do the calculations.